So this video is for anyone building a business. Today I want to share with you a real life example of something that happened from my agency that highlights a very critical thing business owners need to understand. The client is not a client until two things happen: contract signed and at least a payment, a transaction being sent over to you. Even if it's 1 cent, I don't care. So 6 months ago, I ran some ads and a med spa owner who owns the third largest med spa in Texas reached out to me and wanted to move forward with, having a conversation, just booking in a quick 15-minute call. So big numbers, big opportunity on the surface. Now, initially, I went to that meeting with a $1,200 upfront payment, and then from there we go on performance. And after him haggling for a little bit of time, we agreed on a $500 invoice. And the reason why I agreed on it, because I did the numbers and I realized that, I'm gonna make a lot more on the back end from percentage rather than having that $700. We agreed upon everything verbally, but when it came to actually finalizing it, nothing happened. Now, no payment from his end, no contract signed from his end, and just consistent delays day after day. I mean, I followed up respectively for weeks, for phone calls, emails, text messages, and it was all ignored. After 3 weeks, I came to a final conclusion that, I'm gonna void the contract, and I moved on professionally. No hard feelings. Bear in mind, I also did basically move on after the first week because he didn't sign the contract and send any invoices. Fast forward to now, the same individual came back. Now this time, the opportunity was even larger. Instead of a small project, we structured an offer based on full performance, meaning no monthly fee, just 25% of ROIs. Now, initially, I basically told him, hey, it's gonna cost $2,000 a month for a flat fee, and then from there we take a percentage on ROAS. Now, the reason for that is because he's went to multiple different people and people haven't actually been able to meet his requirements. Now, from there, the reason why I, number one, charged $2,000 and also a percentage as well is purely because of the fact that if we're not able to meet the requirements, not only will they get all the money back, but in addition, they get $5,000 on top. So it's a win-win and it's a no-brainer. So I ran the numbers, and the first month on pure performance, it was gonna be $6,500 to me in profit. So normal client. Every month after the first month was going to be $19,500 in personal take-home profit based on very realistic projections due to his services because he had a semi-high ticket service. Completed the onboarding, full systems built out, client acquisition processes from start to finish completed, email nurture sequences, lead management, CRM automations, campaign build-outs, full strategy locked in and loaded, ready to be launched. And it gets even better. The client we already had spent over $19,000 on Facebook ads already. So his account wasn't brand new. I mean, custom audiences were built, warm traffic was there. All we genuinely had to do was just leverage it properly. We couldn't fail. And here's something people would miss. Even though the business is large, even though millions of dollars are moving into it, when I looked at his back-end operations, his profit margins were only 3%. Yes, 3%. Single digits. It doesn't matter how big the company looks from the outside. What matters is what's actually happening internally behind the scenes. Anyways, after onboarding, after building everything, I sent them the contract on April 14th. Today, as I'm recording this, it is April 29th at 11:37 in the morning. Calling him, texting him, emailing him every single day. And every time I reach out, same story. Can I call you later? I'm in a meeting. Now, meanwhile, I have an email tracking software, so I know exactly when he opened the email, how many times, what he clicked. I can see him opening every contract, and I can see him reading every message. Yet, no signature, no payment, no actions. Now, bear in mind, I also did kind of drop this client after the first week of him not signing the contract again because it was repeating what previously had happened. And I told him that I don't like going on peer performance because the issue is a lot of clients, actually 7 out of 10 clients who you do a lead generation percentage based on will tell you they didn't get a client so they can get personal gains from you, which meaning get all the money back plus a couple clients. But I told this client in specific that I don't feel comfortable doing it because I've been burned in the past, not once, not twice, maybe 20 times. So it's annoying. But I gave him the benefit of the doubt, even though all the red signs and red flags were directly in my face. And that was just because, honestly, on the call, I can read people very well. He was extremely passionate and he was ready to move forward. But the problem here was bigger than just wasting my time. My team had already built out full complex systems. We've already committed resources. We had already scheduled things out based on the hard dates we agreed on. And when someone goes ghost on you after you already started allocating real work, it becomes a liability. So I had an internal meeting with my team and we made it clear. If he doesn't respond within 24 hours, we're scraping everything, we're wiping the projects from our system, and we're moving on completely. I just kept in my systems to see if he would ever sign a contract. And of course, he didn't respond. No call, no signature, no payment, again, second time. So we scrapped it professionally, no emotion, just business. The real lesson I want you guys to take away from this is a client is not a client until two things happen. A contract is signed and $1 is inside of your bank account. Even a penny, I don't care. Some sort of transaction is complete. Good conversations mean nothing. Verbal agreements mean nothing. A full onboarding session, even full built out systems mean nothing without a contract signed and a transaction held. Because until that happens, you're not in business with them. You're just hoping to do the right thing. Also, don't be fooled by the size of someone's business. This is a major operation. I mean, top 3 in Texas. But internally, it was extremely inefficient. Poor margins, 3%, really? Bad follow-up, poor communication. Just because someone's business is big doesn't mean they operate at a high level. I mean, bear in mind, this guy had over 20 employees, and his office for the building that he was in was a complete standalone building, 3 stories high. So the guy was running a massive operation. In the end, my point being is protect your time, protect your team's time, set boundaries early, and remember this. If people won't respect your contract, they're not going to respect your work, they're not going to respect your results, nor they're going to even respect your time. Professionalism is always shown at the beginning of the relationship, not at the end, not after everything's been done. Always remember that. So, again, I don't care how many Zoom calls you've had with this person, I don't care how friendly they seem, I don't care how big their business is. If they haven't put ink on paper, and if money isn't in your account directly from them, they're wasting your time. One more thing, I absolutely hate it when people do this. Stop putting businesses and people on pedestals because of how big their business is. I mean, look, this guy is top 3 in Texas, and internally his operation is sloppy, his follow-up is garbage, and his margins are pathetic. For a CEO who is running a multi-million-dollar business, who doesn't sign a contract for 2 weeks, that should tell you all the information you need. Size doesn't mean sophistication. Operate like a professional, not like a fanboy. I'll see you in the next one.